You should already have in your hands the exercise that we are doing today. It is called purse snatching. Okay, that's the one that we are going to do today. We are going to get the question in English, and then we're going to get the answer in Spanish. Here we have live people reading the question and the answer. At the oral examination, it will be pre-recorded, a very nice, clean recording of the questions and the answers, and you will be recorded the entire time that you are providing your interpretation. It'll be a very controlled environment. It'll be very smooth. Only one person will be talking at a time. Now, I'm going to wait for the question to finish. I'm going to take notes, and then I'll give you the interpretation. I'll wait for the answer to finish. I will take notes, and then give you the interpretation. And we're going to take a break at the end of each page. Okay? Once we get to the end of the exercise, we're going to start it all over again with the question and the answer. But the second time around, I am not going to provide to you the interpretation. All I'm going to do is show you the notes that I took that allowed me to get this information back, retrieve the information in order to provide the interpretation. It's very difficult to get 100% in this portion of the oral examination. 90% and you're a genius. Okay? These are just words flying in the air that we're trying to make sense of. Okay? So let's get started. We'll do the first page, and let's wait for the question, and then I'll give you the interpretation, and we'll talk in just a little bit at the end of the page. Okay? Let's begin.
Please state your name for the record.
Por favor, indique su nombre para el acta.
Me llamo Alicia Villarreal López.
My name is Alicia Villarreal Lopez.
What is your occupation? What do you do for work?
¿Cuál es su oficio? ¿A qué se dedica?
Trabajo en una fábrica que hace partes para aviones. El trabajo es muy fácil.
I work for a factory that makes airplane parts. The work is very easy.
Are you employed full-time, or do you work part-time?
¿Usted trabaja a tiempo completo o usted trabaja tiempo parcial?
Trabajo a tiempo completo y a veces horas extras.
I work full-time and sometimes overtime.
What is your work schedule?
¿Cuál es su horario de trabajo?
Trabajo desde las 5 de la mañana hasta las 5 de la tarde, 4 días por semana.
I work from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. 4 days a week.
How are you paid? How much do you make?
¿Cómo le pagan a usted? ¿Cuánto gana usted?
Me pagan cada quincena con cheque y gano $8 por hora, pero las horas extras me las pagan a $12 la hora.
I get paid every 2 weeks by check. I make $8 an hour, but for the overtime, I am paid $12 per hour.
Are you married? Do you have children?
¿Está usted casada? ¿Tiene usted hijos?
Bueno, vivo con mi pareja y tenemos 2 hijos, uno de 8 años y el otro de 10 años.
Well, I live with my companion, and we have 2 children. One is 8 years old, and the other one is 10 years old.
What does your husband do for work? I'm sorry. He does work, right?
Su esposo, ¿en qué trabaja? Disculpe, él sí trabaja, ¿verdad?
Sí, Él trabaja en construcción poniendo pisos de cemento. Los trabajos generalmente son temporales y también según el clima.
Yes. He works in construction, putting in cement floors. Usually, the work is temporary, and it also depends on the weather.
Who does he work for?
Él, ¿para quién trabaja?
Trabaja para Younger Brothers en Fullerton.
He works for Younger Brothers in Fullerton.
How long has he been doing construction work?
Él, ¿cuánto tiempo lleva haciendo trabajo de construcción?
Desde 1998, cuando conoció a Juan Flores, quien ahora es su mayordomo.
Since 1998, when he met Juan Flores, who is now his foreman.
Have you ever testified in court before?
¿Usted alguna vez anteriormente ha declarado en un tribunal? Okay, so as you can see, right now, we are at the end of page 1. Okay, I provided you the interpretation the best I could with memory and note-taking for this first page. We're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to continue it is in this same fashion. Make sure you have the text in front of you so you can follow along. Okay, we'll see you in just a little bit on page 2. Welcome back. We're continuing with the exercise, which is purse snatching. We are going to be taking notes along with memory and visualization, and we're going to deliver the best interpretation we can. We're going to shoot for 100%, but 90% would be good enough for this exercise. It's very tough to do. Okay, page 2, and I think we're going to begin with the answer. Here we go.
Nunca, es mi primera vez y ojalá será la última.
Never. It's my first time, and hopefully it'll be the last time.
Do you remember the day of September 14th, 2006?
¿Usted se acuerda del día 14 de septiembre del 2006?
Claro que sí, me acuerdo muy bien, como si fuera ayer.
Of course. I remember very well, as if it were yesterday.
Where had you been that day?
¿Usted dónde estuvo ese día?
Fui con mi niño Bobby al banco de Wells Fargo, que está en la esquina de la Imperial y Harbor.
I went with my son, Bobby, to the Wells Fargo Bank that is at the corner of Imperial and Harbor.
Did you walk? Or did you drive? Or did you take the bus to the bank that day?
¿Usted caminó, manejó o tomó el autobús para llegar al banco ese día?
Fuimos en la camioneta que tenemos. Es una Ford Aerostar del año 2001 de color azul.
We went in the van that we have. It's a blue 2001 Ford Aerostar.
What was your purpose for going to the bank that day?
¿Cuál fue el propósito suyo para ir al banco ese día?
Quería depositar el cheque de pago de mi esposo y también quería sacar dinero.
I wanted to deposit my husband's paycheck, and I also wanted to withdraw money.
What did you want the money for?
¿Usted? ¿Para qué quería el dinero?
Para comprarle zapatos, ropa y unos juguetes a los niños.
To buy shoes, clothing, and some toys for the children.
How much money did you withdraw at the bank?
¿Usted? ¿Cuánto dinero retiró del banco?
Retiré $500 en billetes de a 20.
I withdrew $500 in $20 bills.
Were you carrying a purse? Strike that. Did you take a purse with you to the bank?
¿Usted llevaba un bolso de mano? Tache eso. ¿Usted llevó un bolso de mano con usted cuando fue al banco?
Sí, claro, soy mujer. Nunca salgo de la casa sin mi bolsa y las llaves de la casa.
Yes, of course. I'm a woman. I never leave home without my purse and my house keys.
Did something unusual happen to you when you walked out of the bank?
¿Algo fuera de lo común le sucedió cuando usted salió del banco?
Pues claro, por eso estamos aquí, ¿qué no?
Of course. That's why we're here, isn't it?
Yes, but please, just answer the question.
Sí, pero por favor, solamente conteste la pregunta.
Sí. Un hombre se me acercó y preguntó si sabía dónde quedaba la librería.
Yes. A man came up to me and asked me if I knew where the bookstore was.
Did you answer his question?
¿Usted le contestó la pregunta de él?
Sí. Volteé a la izquierda para señalar dónde se encontraba la librería.
Yes. I turned to my left to point where the bookstore was.
And what happened then?
¿Y qué pasó entonces? Okay, so as you can see, we are at the end of page 2. This consecutive exercise is very challenging when we get to the oral exam. Probably the most difficult part for many people is the consecutive, because these are just words flying in the air that we're trying to make sense of, and we're trying to retrieve the entire message. Tough to do. Okay, let's take a little break, and I'll see you at the next page. Welcome back. We are now on page 3. Make sure that when you are at the oral examination, everything that you need is available. Lots of paper, extra writing utensils, okay? We want everything to be controlled, okay? I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be visualizing the message. I'm going to remember as much of it as I can. And between the memory and the note taking, I should be able to get back at least 90% of the message. That's what we're shooting for. Okay, so here we go with page 3.
Este señor me jaló la bolsa y se echó a correr. Se fue corriendo bien rápido.
This man pulled my purse and he took off running. He went running really fast.
Did you do anything when your purse was taken from you?
¿Usted hizo algo cuando le quitaron su bolso de mano?
Sí, pedí auxilio. Estaba gritando que me habían robado mi bolsa.
Yes. I asked for help. I was screaming that my purse had been taken.
Did your son Bobby do anything?
¿Su hijo, Bobby, él hizo algo?
Él estaba gritando, mamá, mamá, el hombre se llevó tu bolsa.
He was screaming, Mom, Mom, the man took your purse.
Did you see someone chase after the man?
¿Usted vio a alguien perseguir al hombre?
Sí, dos hombres lo persiguieron y lo alcanzaron en la esquina.
Yes. Two men chased him and caught up to him at the corner.
Can you describe the man?
¿Usted puede describir al hombre?
Traía puesto unos pantalones negros, una camisa azul y zapatos blancos.
He had on black pants, a blue shirt, and white shoes.
Was he wearing a mask or a cap or dark sunglasses?
Él traía puesto una máscara, una cachucha o lentes oscuros.
No, era un sinvergüenza. No le importaba que le mirara la cara.
No, he was shameless. He didn't care that I saw his face.
Please, ma'am, just answer the question. Was the man white, black, Asian, or Hispanic?
Por favor, señora, solamente conteste la pregunta. ¿El hombre era blanco, negro, asiático o hispano?
Se veía latino, como de México, o El Salvador, o quizá Guatemala.
He looked like Latino, like maybe from Mexico or El Salvador or Guatemala.
Can you describe him?
¿Usted lo puede describir?
Era como de 5 pies, 10 pulgadas, pesaba como 170 libras y tenía una barbita de chivo.
He was about 5 feet 10 inches, weighed about 170 pounds, and he had a goatee.
Do you see that man in court today?
¿Usted ve a ese hombre en el juzgado hoy?
Sí, ahí está sentado al lado de su abogado.
Yes, he is sitting there next to his attorney.
Did you see the police arrest him?
¿Usted vio cuando la policía lo arrestó?
Sí, los dos hombres lo detuvieron hasta que llegó la placa.
Yes, the two men held him until the cops got there.
Were you there when they handcuffed him and took him away in the patrol car?
¿Usted estuvo ahí cuando lo esposaron y se lo llevaron en la patrulla?
Sí, yo miré todo. Quería estar segura que él no se fuera a escapar.
Yes, I saw everything. I wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to escape.
Did the police return your purse to you?
¿La policía le regresó a usted su bolso de mano?
Sí, me regresaron todo, pero qué susto me pasé.
Yes, they returned everything to me, but I was very scared. Okay, so as you can see, we are now at the end of page 3. The consecutive exercise is just one exercise. One mugging, one robbery, just one story. Make sure we follow the story so that we can better interpret upcoming events if we know what has transpired already. Okay, so we're going to follow the story as well, just one story. We're almost done. We have one more page to go, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Welcome back. We are now on page 4, and we'll continue with the attorney asking the question in English. Here we go.
Were you injured in any way when he pulled the purse away from you?
¿Usted se lastimó de alguna manera cuando él le quitó a usted su bolso de mano?
No, creo que no me lastimé, pero ya mero me daba un ataque al corazón.
Now, I don't think I was hurt, but I almost had a heart attack.
Was an ambulance or the paramedics called?
¿Se le llamó a la ambulancia o a los paramédicos?
No creo, porque ninguno de ellos se presentó.
I don't think so, because neither one of them showed up.
Did the police take a statement from you?
¿La policía tomó su declaración?
Sí, me preguntaron qué pasó y tomaron todos mis datos.
Yes, they asked me what happened and took all of my information.
Were you able to drive back home?
¿Usted pudo manejar de regreso a casa?
No, estaba muy nerviosa, así es que le llamé a mi cuñado Beto Cabrera para que pasara por mí.
No, I was too nervous, so I called my brother-in-law, Beto Cabrera, to come and pick me up.
Your brother-in-law, Beto, he is your husband's brother, right?
Su cuñado, Beto, él es el hermano de su esposo, ¿cierto?
Así es, él es el hermano de mi pareja, pero yo le llamo mi cuñado.
Yes, he is the brother of my companion, but I call him my brother-in-law.
Did he in fact come over and pick you and your son up?
Él, de hecho, vino a recogerla a usted y a su hijo.
Sí, tardó como 2 horas porque tenía que venir desde San Fernando, donde estaba trabajando.
Yes, it took him about 2 hours because he had to come from San Fernando where he was working.
Are you 100% sure that this defendant at the attorney's table is the man that took your purse on the date of September 14th, 2006?
¿Está usted 100% segura que este hombre sentado en la mesa del abogado es el hombre que le quitó su bolso en la fecha del 14 de septiembre del 2006?
Estoy súper segura. Nunca voy a poder olvidarme su cara. Es un malvado.
I am super sure I will never be able to forget his face. He is an evil man.
Thank you. I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor.
Gracias. No tengo más preguntas para esta testigo, su señoría.
My name is Joseph Parker. I am the defense attorney. I just have a few questions for you. I hope you don't mind. Do you wear glasses or suffer from any diseases?
Mi nombre es Joseph Parker. Yo soy el abogado defensor. Espero que no le moleste si le hago unas preguntas. ¿Usted usa anteojos o padece de alguna enfermedad?
No, no uso lentes y no tengo ninguna enfermedad.
No, I don't wear glasses and I don't suffer from any disease.
Have you ever been treated for psychological problems?
¿Usted alguna vez ha sido atendida por problemas psicológicos?
No, nunca. No estoy loca. Y también ningún familiar mío ha ido a ver a un psicólogo.
No, never. I'm not crazy. And also, no relative of mine has gone to see a psychologist.
When was the last time you had your eyes examined?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que le revisaron la vista?
Nunca. Mi vista es perfecta y nunca he necesitado ver a un oculista.
Never. My vision is perfect, and I've never had to see an eye doctor.
I have no more questions of this witness. Defense rests.
No tengo más preguntas para esta testigo. La parte defensora concluye con su presentación de pruebas. Okay, so that was the end of this exercise. As you can see, it's a combination of note-taking and memory, and then bringing back as much of the message as we can. 90%, 95% would be absolutely wonderful. Very challenging at the consecutive. Okay, now that we're done with the interpretation of the entire exercise, when we come back, I'm going to show you the notes that I would take and explain my notes to you. Okay? It's called note-taking strategy, note-taking technique. The notes don't count for you or against you. They're just going to be thrown away. They don't matter. They're just there to help you. And I'm going to give you a technique that works for me, strategy that works for me, that you may want to adopt. But you can take your own notes, develop your own symbols, do whatever you wish, because they do not care what notes you take or even if you take notes. But remember, you cannot write out the whole question or write out the whole answer because we're going to run out of time. It is a timed exercise, and in order for us to have the best chance of passing, we need to interpret the entire exercise. Okay, we'll see you in just a little bit, and we'll talk about the note-taking techniques and strategies, okay?